Hi everyone and welcome to episode 3 of Bear News. This week I'm giving the fans exactly what they've been asking for as I'm joined by club legend Oliver Wilson. Hope you enjoy, and as ever, any thoughts or feedback on Bear News, please let us know. Cheers. Right, Goose, welcome to episode 3 of Bear News. This is the one the fans have been waiting for, mate. They've been crying out for the Moose Man to come on Bear News. Firstly, mate, huge congratulations on the safe arrival of little Betty. First question, I've been kicking everyone off with this: how's isolation been? But mate, just give us an insight into the last week, 10 days. How's it all been for you, pal?
Busy, mate. Quite busy. It's been whirlwind, mate. So it was a bit crazy. Last week last Thursday when Gemma's waters broke, but she didn't get induced till Saturday morning, and then that was it. It kicked off from there, and Betty came into the world at 6:57 on the 11th of April, and our lives have not been the same since. So yeah, it's all good, mate. It's all good.
Oh, fantastic, mate. And how much kip are you getting at the moment?
Roughly at night, getting about 4 or 5 hours, so not too bad.
That's not too bad.
We're doing all right with coping. I like to have a little siesta around about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, just to get a couple of hours back into the tank.
And I guess most importantly, pal, how's it affecting the ale intake? Are you still managing to knock the cap off a couple of an evening, or has that dried up?
No. That's still in the routine, Joff. Let's put it that way. She's had to factor that around it. So 6 till 7 is where I can get a couple of wets down me. Let's put it that way.
I wouldn't have expected any different from a man of your stature. All right, we'll kind of get into a few of the questions, similar kind of format. I've got the quick fire round to come up later in the round, and then I'm going to finish today, Goose, with an advice section. You know, you're a man of the world, and I think you can impart some wisdom on these young bears. So stay tuned for the advice section at the end. So obviously you've been around the club for forever and a day. You've played 3 million games and took 5,000 wickets for the Bears. You've been in and around that second team now for a very, very long time. And I kind of want to get into the importance that we place on second, third, fourth teams in bringing through these young lads. So I guess for yourself, for the likes of Mark Langford, for Bagsy, for those for Boz when he's not with the ones, those lads in and around the second team, how much importance do you think we can place on your role in the side in bringing through these young lads?
Yeah, it's a big part, mate, if I'm being honest with you. Obviously, people like me, Mark Langford, Will, and Boz, we've got the experience we've played in big games, and we've won titles and tournaments. So anything that we can pass on to the young lads coming through that are wanting to make the step up into the first team, it's kind of invaluable, really. I'm not one of these that I'm not going to teach a batter how to bat because I can't bat myself. So, but if I've got a little bit of wisdom or a little bit of experience just to pass on to the bowlers and the seamers in particular, then I'm more than happy to do that. Just to give a bit back, really, because I've had the time put into me by coaches and players over the years. So, it's all about giving a bit back and helping the youngsters come through and hopefully progress and become a first team player in the future. So,
yeah, definitely,
it's massive, mate. It's all good fun as well. So, yeah, I really enjoy playing in the second team.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure nothing to do with running between the wickets as well, mate, as I'm sure Bozzy will find a way to edit that famous clip into this interview at some point. Sure. So a question about kind of the players that have come through. Who within that second team has come through, maybe come through the thirds into the seconds and then progressed into the ones? Are there any kind of standout players that came in and you immediately thought, wow, there's a first team player of the future here?
Yeah, I mean, the obvious one that stands out is Luke Wood. Obviously gone on to play first class cricket for Notts for a number of years and now has got the move to Lancashire. Luke really went from third team to first team. I think he kind of broke through. He played a full season in the thirds and then he did really well, and then he managed to get a call up into the twos, and I think he only played like a handful of games in the twos towards at the back end of the season, and then he was in the ones the year after. So yeah, obviously Luke's a standout one. Then we've got players like Dan Wood, established first team cricketer. Had a couple of seasons with Dan in the seconds, and he just really progressed into a quality batsman. Got a couple of tons in the twos when we played in the championship. Who else? We've got Josh Porter, Dan Abelow, Archie Shannon, who's no longer with us. They're good players. Good young talent, doing the job in the first team. Josh and Dan Abelow deserve a lot of credit. I think after what they did last year, steps up second half of the season. So. Yeah, we've got some good young kids coming through. Some lads that are probably 14, 15, hopefully a couple of years we should see them stepping up and contributing into the twos and hopefully getting them into the pathway into the ones. So yeah, it's some good players have come through, mate, and it's testament to the coaches and the players that have put the time and the effort into them. That's made them into decent young cricketers. So yeah, it's all good, mate.
Yeah, definitely. The next question was going to be around kind of anyone that's surprised us in coming through, and I guess Dan Adlow's that standout name, and he kind of progressed really well over the winter. Last winter, got his break in the ones and kind of really took his chance, and probably no surprise to anyone in the club, but kind of how well he did come into that first team was fantastic to see. So who do you think's next? You're still obviously actively involved, been netting over the winter. Any young lads kind of coming through the threes, through the twos, who are going to be first team players of the future? You got any names for us?
Yeah, we've got there's a decent little keeper. He played the last game of the season in the twos last year against Welbeck, called Henry Styring, little keeper bat. Looks a good player, organised, looks decent behind the stumps, stood up to me, did a decent job. So he's probably one to keep an eye out for. Players like Josh Barrett, he just needs to kick on this year. He's had a couple of, I think he's probably had 18 months or season and a half in the twos. So he really needs to establish himself as an opening bowler. Matt Beer is another one. He could probably do a little bit more, I should feel. He'll probably think that himself. But yeah, there's a couple, mate. I think there's a couple of young 13-year-olds, but they might just be a little bit too soon for them. But yeah, I think Henry Styring's definitely one to look out for. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's, even just the nets this winter, there's definitely a couple of really young lads who are definitely going to make second and first team players of the future. So that's good to see. The stocks are well up there. So
yeah, Drew Owen as well, Bolly. I forgot to
I've bowled quite a bit with Drew over the winter. I've been really, really impressed with him. I think he's got a big future ahead of him in the club and beyond. So definitely Drew's one to look out for. So. So Bear News, we like to keep things current. It is isolation, there's not a great deal happening, so there is no real current Bear News this week. Just a quick happy birthday to Nick Langford. So we're recording this on Thursday. It is Langer's birthday today. Who knows what age Nick is, 26, 27, 28, could be 35, who knows. But a big happy birthday to Langers. Talking about Langers and myself and yourself actually, Goose. You're obviously actively involved in a spin-off of Cockney Cricket Club, and that's the six-a-side team. So myself, yourself, Aaron Riley, Bozzy, Murph, all involved in Four Left Skins United on a Wednesday night throughout the winters. Just give me a quick summary, mate, of the 2019-2020 campaign for the Four Left Skins six-a-side team.
Inconsistent, I think, would be the correct word. We somehow managed to beat the reigning champions and demolish them in their own backyard. But apart from that, I don't think we've won a game since. So yeah, it's been stop-start for us. I think player availability has been an issue. Obviously, we've lost Murph for quite a bit due to work commitments. Although after a couple of debriefs on the WhatsApp group, he's actually been sat in his living room. So yeah, that's not gone down too well with a couple of the playing staff. But yeah, it's good fun. It's a good standard. It's a bit lively. Bit tasty on some games, but it's good to keep the lungs pumping and have a bit of a run round on a Wednesday. So yeah, it's been a good, not as good as last season, but hopefully we can pick it back up once this is all blown over and see Aaron Riley start barging people into fences again. That'd be nice.
Absolutely, yeah. It helps having rivals on your side when it does get a little bit tasty on a Wednesday evening in mid-February. So we're going to be out. We're going to be recruiting for players over the summer. Harry Berkhamshaw's now been on the books for about a year and a half and is still yet to make his debut in the six-a-side. Just give anyone who's interested in playing on a Wednesday night what we're looking for, Goose. What's going to make a good player? What's required of a Four Left Skins United footballer?
I think it's a lot of heart and desire. I think to carry through with the Four Left Skins. Talent is not always essential, but hard work, commitment, and availability every Wednesday at 7:00 would be a bonus. So, yeah, if you can turn up and you can throw your weight around a bit, then I think you can do a job for us.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. So anyone who's interested, get in touch with club captain Nick Langford, who will definitely get you in the WhatsApp group. Right, Goose, on to the quick fire round. So here we go. First answer that comes into your head. Always start off with Cheekies or Late Lounge.
Oh, Cheekies.
Tom or Will?
Ooh, I'm gonna teabags.
All right, fair enough. Others wouldn't, but fair enough. San Mig or Moretti?
I'm going to have to go with the little green man, Jonathan. I think Mr. Moretti himself.
St Michael will be disappointed. Who's a better drinker, Oliver Wilson or Chris Murphy?
There's only one answer there, Jonathan, isn't there? It's Oliver Wilson by an absolute landslide.
And I think that's been proven now on more than one occasion, Goose.
Well,
Get back to it, Murph. You've got some catching up to do, mate. Who's a better footballer, Nick Langford or Harry Berkhamshaw?
Ooh. Not seen much of Berko play. I've seen him now and again in the five-a-sides in the warm-ups, and he's decent. He's got a nice touch. I'm just going to have to go with Nick Langford, I feel. I've just seen a bit more of Nick, that's all. But if Harry's available for the 4 left skins, that might just sway my decision ever so slightly. But yeah, I'm going to go with Langers. Excellent
pitch, I like it. Will you get a bear tattoo?
Absolutely.
Excellent. And the final question, the quick fire round is, choose one of the following people to isolate with. You can only have one. That's Mark Walker, Conor Garnett or Jordan Wake.
I'm going to go Waco, I think. I think I'm going to go Waco.
Yeah, smash some Copperbergs down you in isolation.
A couple of dominoes as well. 2 for Tuesday.
I like it. Right, that's the end of the quick fire round. A couple of questions to round off, and I've asked this of Tees and Bozzy in previous weeks, but you can't have the Derby 2020 because that's now gone twice. But give me your favourite moment now in a Bears shirt.
Okay, mate. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I'm going to go probably before we got to Edgbaston in 2012, we played in the quarter-final at Brentwood down in Essex, and we went down there with a fairly youngish side and a local side and managed to turn them over on their patch. I think it's a first-class ground, Brentwood. I think there was some Essex games down there, so the set-up facilities was good, plenty of people on, and we went down and did a job on them, and that was probably the highlight of my career playing for Cunning. But a couple of others. We've got a couple of promotions to the Championship, 2012 under Langers, and then 2017 or 16 under Bozzy. So yeah, it's always nice to get promoted. So yeah, them two in the Brentwood game were probably fondest highlights in a Bears shirt.
Spot on, great answer, mate. Right, we're going to finish now with the advice section. Now, this is the first advice section that we've had. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a regular feature, depending on what we get out of you. Also,
okay.
You're now a married man. You've got a kid. You settled down, Oliver, to all intents and purposes. There's a lot of these lads around the club now that are single. Going out every weekend, not quite matured into adulthood and those relationships. So think of Josh Porter's, think Will Berkhamshaw's, think Tom Ulliott's. What kind of advice would you youngsters who were going out and about between the ages now of 18 and 30 about going out and enjoying themselves?
Just go out and enjoy yourselves, chaps. You only live once. A little bit of advice, and this has kind of stuck with me for a while now. But whenever you go down Mansfield and you go into Yates's, never have more than 2 kangaroos in there, because let me tell you, it ruins your night. One kanga. Just one kanga, that's all it is. Just one will do. And then off you trot up the hill, up to Cheeky's, and then dance the night away, and then off into Lake Lounge. So, but yeah, just enjoy yourselves, chap. Enjoy being in each other's company, because you'll form great friendships for the rest of your life, and they'll stand you in good stead. So, yeah, any of the young lads out there, I'm always here for a little talk if anyone needs to have a little chat in confidence about certain things. So. But just go out and enjoy yourself, boys. Play your cricket hard, and then just go out and enjoy it even harder after a good win. That's all I can say on that matter, Jonathan.
Well, exactly. And then there's always fish chips and mushy peas, and pick up some stragglers from Leamy Street Chip Shop at about 3 o'clock in the morning, mate, isn't they?
Well, that's a shea given, Jonathan.
And who knows what's in those kangas, Goose? But I know they have to be served at room temperature with no ice in them. That seems to be how it goes in Yates's. But yeah, 3 of them, mate, and it's curtains by the time you get into the cheeky monkey.
It's not good.
Goose, always a pleasure, mate. Thank you for joining us, and take care, and love to Gemma and Betty.
Cheers, boy. Keep
take care, pal. See you later.
Cheers, mate. Ciao.